that if you want to make change happen, you change to your potential in the same way that you've been creating your fears. And I certainly, when I looked back on my life, and when I had, I mentioned before, I went through a 2-year, how I sort of got back on the spiritual path, so to speak, was I realised that I was so unhappy in my drinking that I know I needed to stop, and I tried to stop 5 times prior to that. It's a bit like smoking, actually. Funny enough, I gave up smoking a lot easier than booze. How about that? And so I got to the point where I just, I couldn't continue in this. I'd blown myself up, if you will. And when I went into the meditative experience, I was forced to do one thing. I was forced to sit in the present moment, and I was forced to understand what my body was saying to me. And my body was saying some really nice things. And my head was just absolutely exploding. And so it took me 3 months. When people come here for meditation, I tell them about my 3-month journey. This is what it was. And it took me 3 months to be able to listen to what my heart was saying. And my heart was saying a complete opposite to what my head was saying. It was saying the complete opposite. And I started to realise that I was actually creating all these fears. I was manifesting all these fears. And once I realised that I was the one that was actually creating it, the universe was just saying yes. Everything that I felt was a truth statement. So when I felt the fear, that's what I got. I've got more fear. And I became the master at creating fear. And then when I started to feel good about myself, and particularly about 3 months into my program, I really sort of overcame that bridge, that sort of pain gap of being able to sit silently for 20 or 30 minutes and just have bliss and not have the mind and the you should be doing this and why are you doing that and you're not good enough and geez, you'd love a drink. When I got to that point, all that was left was pure potential. And you know what the universe said on that? Yes. Yes. And so between month 3, the program that I was in, and then month 6, it was through the roof. It was real easy. But I had to do those first 90 days. I had to do the first 90 days. Yeah? For me, it wasn't a 28-day process, I can guarantee you that. It was absolutely a 90-day journey. But when I went through it, I started to create a different experience for myself. It was the yes experience. The one thing I had to change, and this is when we talk about fear, was fear of what life would be like off the bottle. Fear of who I would become, fear of what my real potential is. What I'd like you to do now at your tables, this is the final exercise, is just to share with each other what value or belief, what belief would need to change in your life about yourself right now in order for you to make transformation occur. So what belief would need to change in your life for transformation to occur? The cycle of creation I've just put up here on the slide is real simple. It's a 3-part process. It starts off with an intention. Where do you think your intentions live? What part of you communicates your intention all the time? Your brain's actually the filter. It's not the cause of it. Your brain through through the brain stem allows you to receive these messages, but where do you think it really comes from? Dream? Yeah, good dreams. What are dreams normally connected to?
Higher self.
Sorry?
Higher self.
Absolutely, your higher self. And your higher self communicates to you through one primary part of your anatomy. Oh, there we go. Leave the horse sometimes. I tell you what you feel good about is what you're intending. When someone says they've got a positive intention, what's that really saying? Do you feel good about this person? Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good about taking this action? Do you feel good about the decision you've just made? Your intentions, if you want to connect to your intentions real quickly, just ask, what do I feel about that? How does that make me feel? Good or bad? So, our intentions is the cycle, is the cause of creation. And the fact that you, all of us, have unlimited free will to have an intention. What does that mean? You can have any intention that you desire. So it then goes on to desire and beliefs. Just because you feel as though you want to change something, does that mean that the change will actually occur? Now, at the beginning of today, we did 3 wishes. And I asked you, how confident are you about making those come true? Now, some of you may have had 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Some of you may have had 1 out of 10. And this is where creation happens. Because we've got an intention, and you don't actually have to try to have an intention. We've all got one by default. I asked you before, how good are you at breathing? or stop breathing for 5 minutes. None of you really want to do that. That's your default intention. You're always going to do something that makes you feel good about yourself. That's how we are programmed. But whether or not action happens will be determined by our desire and our beliefs. Because what we believe in, we do. Does that sound right? Yeah? How many things do you do right now in your life that you don't believe in? You physically do something but you don't believe in it. There's an oxymoron, yeah? And this is why when we work, sorry to pick on you, when we work with anyone that has got a habit, whether it's negative thoughts, smoking, drinking, whatever, relationships, who knows? When there's something that you're doing repetitively, you're actually doing it because at some level you believe in it. At some level, you actually believe in it. Yeah. It's funny enough, when I moved from eating meat to not eating meat, there was actually a change in my beliefs. All change will happen through your beliefs. So